Hi guys.
Hi,
Welcome back to Free Failing.
I'm Jess T.
I'm Jess
Switch it
K.
up.
Yeah. Thanks for being here. Today we're gonna talk about one of my favorite topics that I feel like I don't ever shut up about. So it feels like so easy and fun to just talk about. In our last episode, we were talking about the
hmm
Enneagram and using it as a tool to rediscover yourself and to
Yes.
sometimes find yourself for the first time
hmm
when you're rebuilding your life again. So I
Right.
think that's why we were talking about just this time of midlife. What a time of like pause it is,
Mm.
even if you're not just through a divorce, going through a divorce or a relational transition. But since that's what most of us are in,
Yeah.
it really is wild to find ourselves here, single again,
hmm
uh, just having to do things that we
Yeah.
never thought we'd have to do again for the first
Yeah.
time or again. So my thing is like, again, I know I'm chronically positive and optimistic, but I always like
Mm.
to say divorce is not your destiny. It's just the next chapter. And this is just an opportunity. And I never want to paint divorce in a positive light or say, I'm so glad I got a divorce so I can
Right.
finally become a writer like I always dreamed of. But when you find yourself
Yeah.
divorced, there is an opportunity to do things, to have time for self discovery,
hmm
whether it's a hobby, whether it's a side hustle, or it's just something that a ministry. A lot of times we don't have time for those kinds of things, or we even forget that we wanted to do some of these
Yeah.
things or become whatever
Yeah.
when we're married with kids.
Yes. That was my case for sure. I got married so young that any identity or purpose or dream or thought about my own self
Hmm.
was quickly at first merged with another person, and then I feel like it was, like, completely erased after having kids because and it's not their fault, it's my fault because I made the roles I was playing bigger than my own self and my own identity.
And is fault even the right word though? Because sometimes I think there is a season for that. Like, I don't even
I don't
know
even
if you
it's
were
not
like
even my fault.
idolizing your
Right,
kids
it
or
was
motherhood. It's sometimes
necessary,
it's like when they're little, I mean,
obviously.
girl, you had 5 kids, so
True. It was necessary to give them
just the
that
natural
attention.
course of life.
It is. So
But then
but then,
mine
um
go ahead. Yeah.
well, then you fall into that habit and that pattern. And if you don't make room or space to keep feeding that part of yourself, it does die to some
Yeah.
extent.
Or you forget.
Right. And it did start to spark again in my marriage where I was like, oh, maybe I'll write, maybe I'll blog. I was getting to this place where I was having speaking events at the church. So I was starting to finally get to a place where I was reigniting things about myself or discovering things about myself
Yeah.
that I could do that said Jessica. And I was proud of those things and I had hopes and dreams they were still not done.
Yeah.
But then major divorce, epic divorce happens and my life kind of falls apart a little.
Mm.
And with it, I feel like some of those things fell apart also because
Why though? Because your identity was kind of wrapped like you had a blog, but he was all over it,
yeah, he
right?
was
Like
all
you were
over
it was
it.
like you were the
My
married,
family.
homeschooling, beautiful,
Yeah.
like mixed adopted,
Yeah,
like
blend
literally
yeah.
poster, United Colors of Benetton poster. So I
Yeah.
feel bad for you because you
Yeah.
were talking about motherhood, like, you would go
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
and so it's not like
Uh,
you're a pottery maker, like
no, right. My identity my even the thing that I was going to maybe the writing and the blogging and the speaking were gifts and talents,
yeah,
but I was
the subject matter.
still speaking inside of a very small bubble, or like I said earlier,
Mhm.
that was a fishbowl experience. So when that fishbowl cracked and all the water fell out and the fish went running, I thought, "Oh, well, that's the end of that." So not only did I lose my roles
Yep,
through divorce, but I felt like I lost the few things that I was driving toward for my own personal
totally.
discovery. So it was a very I don't know.
Yeah.
So I still at this time I feel like I'm sorry to ramble, but
No, this is what I'm talking about.
um now I have to start from scratch and I have to like figure out who I am. And I've had to do that also with teenagers and kids and of all ages.
Yeah.
And now also in perimenopause-ish. It's a very hormonal time. I'm grumpy, I'm angry, I'm broody, I'm moody, I'm confused, I'm poetic, I'm deep, I'm crying,
Yeah.
I'm risk taking. So it
Mhm.
feels like a new teenage stage.
Yes, totally. I feel the same way. I am an absolute denial that I'm in pre anything
Yeah, we won't.
perimenopause, but,
You're
like,
not.
I am
I might be.
47, so, like, I'm just we'll just say that I
Yeah,
also have been
you
feeling
might. Yeah.
like
You are perimenopause adjacent, but
yeah,
not.
yeah. I'm taller. I'm an ally.
You're an ally, but you will not accept that identity for yourself.
Yes.
We'll let
So,
that go.
um, so basically, I think a lot of women, and this is not a criticism, but
Mhm.
we have so many Christian married and now divorced friends, the whole gamut.
Mm.
You kind of just your motherhood and wifehood becomes your identity. And
Mhm. Mhm.
so the things that you want to do, some of them
Mhm.
stop going to Zumba. We could just be
Mhm.
talking about fun things. Stop
Yeah.
horseback riding. Stop their pottery class to give up their photography. Sell their camera equipment because they were feeling guilty. It cost so much money and
Yeah.
then they haven't taken photos in a while. So
Right.
I do
Right.
think it's important to not
Yeah.
completely give up your identity, your
Hold
calling,
on
your
to
purpose.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
through
like you
motherhood.
can back burner it, but keep
Yeah.
the burner
Yes.
lightly brewing
Yes.
because
And
you
same.
never know when you need it.
Right.
And when it's gone and you can't even find it anymore, and now you got to get
And we'll talk about that in a minute because
yeah,
there's
okay.
always hope and it's never dead, but
Right.
it makes it easier for
Yeah.
yourself if you
Yeah.
do have a continuum.
But also don't wrap that thing up. What I did is I also wrapped that up into those roles.
Mm.
When maybe I could have been writing
It's just
for,
spiritual stuff, just
yeah,
healing, just
yeah, or
to, or
even travel or
yes,
even just reading.
yes, totally.
Um, but I thought I was really super in alignment and I was, and it's
Yeah,
just very interesting.
yeah,
But when it fell apart, I also, because I wrapped it so much in the roles, I felt
mm,
disqualified to do it.
totally.
So not just like, oh, I lost it. I actually felt disqualified. Like, who are you?
Yep,
So now imposter syndrome for real, for real. I already had imposter syndrome, but now it's like
I know.
you're actually the antithesis of
Oh,
what you thought you were,
I know. I feel
you
like
know?
divorce, especially in the Christian culture, Christian settings, I think sometimes we feel like it can rob our voice. I think it can take away our authority. Or we think
Mhm.
it reduces our authority.
Mhm.
We shouldn't have a platform.
Mhm.
Why don't you just focus on your broken little life now?
Yeah.
Why are you out here trying to like give people a
Yes.
pep talk? Aren't you just like,
Yes.
why don't you get it together? All false,
Mm.
all lies from the enemy. And I
Mhm.
remember going through I I found a publisher and someone published my book back in the day in 2017 and I got a divorce in the middle. So
Mm.
they acquired my book with the last name of the husband and then I was getting
Wow.
ready to print it because it takes 18 months to get a book out at a different I was so scared. I remember like calling my agent like
Mhm.
I was like, are they even going to publish it? Like,
Mhm.
do they want to represent a
Yeah.
newly divorced woman?
Yeah.
And it was so, I remember feeling bad for like just womanhood. Like if this is the guy, he is the same last name, right?
Yes.
And
Can we talk about that for a minute?
yeah.
Because I've been observing that also as a teacher and also for myself as a teacher. I have been a tutor and now a teacher and all this stuff. I've seen a girl come in as a teacher
Mm,
and have an identity. Not that, I mean, she's a teacher, a teacher, a teacher, but she's Miss whoever. And
okay.
then she gets married,
Mm,
and now everyone in the school and every child who knew her prior
yeah.
has to get acquainted and learn to call her a whole new name.
Yes.
Like as if that other thing doesn't exist anymore, but it kind of exists,
I
but it's
know.
named
It's so
different.
weird, you guys.
But wait, then I've also seen women, or myself, I became a teacher or from a writer. I'm still holding my ex spouse's name
Yes.
for the sake of I just think
As a
it's
lot of women
better.
do. A lot of women do.
But I also feel like everything I'm building is on that name
Ah,
that maybe I don't want to represent. And then, I mean, for my children, yes.
yes.
But now I'm also seeing women getting divorced. So maybe they had a name for years and years and years,
Yep.
and they're getting divorced in mid-year. And it's like,
Yep.
because all their paperwork at work changes, they are now your students, these little babies are like, wait, what? And now they change their name again.
Dude.
Why us?
It's so
Why?
rough. Anybody knows, this is not the first time listening to a reviewer. I've been divorced twice. Picture being at the same job. I was at a job for 8 years, and you're and as
HR has
anyone knows, but then your whole email it's like J
Oh.
Kastner at da 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 da. Then it was J something.
Mm,
Then it was J something, and you have to update. You have to
there's
update
something.
your Christmas card presents. You have to update your address and your last
Everything.
name and your
Your
like
email
life
tagline.
insurance. All the dependents. I'm adding the
Oh
stepkids.
my
I'm taking
gosh,
off
that's
the
the
stepkids.
worst.
I'm adding them on dental. Who are these people? I feel like it's like no one could keep up. And you know what's even worse? When you change your name as a woman, especially like I was like late 30s, when you change it to get a divorce, everybody thinks you changed it to get married and says congratulations. And
Oh.
it's just, and there's so, if I sat here and thought there's so many of those intricacies in having to change your name,
Yeah.
and I battle with it because I have thought, if I
Mm.
ever get married again, am I going to change my name? And I am such a romantic, old fashioned soul that I probably will. But how many visits to the DMV does a girl have to make?
I
It's talk about should I just get like a mosaic of all my different names? I mean, we have to do something. This is
yeah.
because most friends give
Like,
up.
what do you want? What do you want?
Yeah, like
I got a couple
what
names.
initials? I've been J and something. I have those ampersands that in the 90s people put like J and something. I've had so many like how many
Yeah, you need a
signatures?
charm
How
bracelet.
many like and yeah, I know we have a
JK,
couple.
J. What were
Uh
initials?
yeah, it
What
was
was it?
JP, then
JK, JP,
J
then JK again.
K, and then J at least JK because last name was
Oh,
another
good.
K. I think so. There you go.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, thank you. So God is good. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a thing. It is a thing that I think it's a I think just universally we always think about this is kind of weird that just half of us
Yeah.
have to change your name because we're a woman.
Well, you
But you
said not
kind of
like, not that I didn't like, but I didn't agree with women who were, not that I didn't agree. I was like, what's the hang up when they're like, I'm not going to change my name.
I know, or
I'm
the
not going to change my
lame
name.
hyphen, no offense. My
Yeah.
one of my
Or
best
the
friends has a
hyphen.
hyphen.
Right.
I get the hyphen, but I would never do
And
that.
I thought, this can't be that deep. And now because you are in it forever, you hope.
I know.
But in this world, in this fallen world in
Cracking on
2020,
fire,
whatever,
cracking fallen world.
I think, and with a 50 to 60% divorce rate, we do have to start coaching women to
Woo! I know.
make what choices are more
But it's a
efficient for
fine
them.
line between coaching to have wisdom and self-protection or be
I
negative or
know, I
preemptive because it could be
know.
seen that way. And I used to see women that did
Mm,
that way in a judgy and now
right,
I have
me
wished I
too.
had taken like
Oh man,
advice.
the judge not lest you be judged. Woo!
Yeah,
It's been
it's wild.
it's
I mean, we
hitting
could
me
talk
in
about this
midlife.
forever because it's just so
Oh
different for
my
women. Like
gosh,
the
everything.
paperwork, even to this day, I was just doing something, you guys. Oh, because we were just talking about I invested in
Mhm.
Bitcoin, so you have to get this Coinbase app.
Mhm.
Your bank account has to match what your license is. I still haven't changed my license
Mhm.
for a bunch of different reasons, so I couldn't. It was like a
12-step,
thread. Yeah.
yeah,
So
just to invest
this is
money.
such a tangent, but obviously, I
Is
bet
it?
every
It
girl
is.
listening is
It
like,
is.
"Yes, it's rough." Yeah.
But I know this is a tangent, but this is good. But biblically, the reason why I love names, I love name meanings, it's so huge to me. But biblically, well, my former pastor was studied all this Judaism stuff, and he always talked about when you give something a name, you take ownership.
Mm.
Actually, maybe this isn't a good thing. But like naming something, you're claiming it.
Mm.
And not that we definitely should not be property of somebody, but it shows that they're taking on this.
Like a protector
Yeah.
role, like it's your
Yeah.
job now to like your
Yeah.
house is on fire.
So it's like, just like you want someone to finally put Facebook official, there's
Yeah, I
nothing more
love it.
official
I
than
love it, and I
giving you his
probably
last
will
name.
yes, I
Right.
agree, and it's almost like, because I had such ex-wife drama of the husbands with the ex-wives, I'm like,
Right.
"You're not gonna have his last name. No, I'm not gonna have his last name."
Well,
Because the ex-wives, like you,
I
have his
know.
last name, so I'm like, "Well, she's gonna be it, I'm gonna be it." So it's like, that's not even a
But
good
then
negative, but that's a
that's so weird too.
I know. Now you're just like a bunch of
Ugh.
following,
Okay.
like, we're all sister wife or like post
Yeah.
Mormon. I don't know. It's so strange. So strange.
We're all, oh yeah. Ugh, ugh, bleh. Okay.
You know what's cool though for me? I was a single mom, as I talked about before. So my son, who I had
Mhm.
got pregnant in college, has my last name because he didn't have a dad.
Mm.
And so he's carrying on. I'm one of all sisters. So I always think it's neat that
Mm,
the Lord used an unplanned broken girl's
that
pregnancy to
is
carry on the
awesome.
legacy of a grandfather who passed away when we were young. So
Oh,
there'll always be a Jack Kastner. And I think it's neat that because I
yes.
don't share my next two kids' last names because I was married and divorced, but I'll always have the shared last name, which makes me not want to give it up again. Because every time I've come back to my name, I'm like, all right, it was always meant to be. I shall return. I shall get my documents. I shall get my online portal straight. And I
And I will reemerge.
Casma. What's going on? So I love my name. Oh, this is
Oh,
such a
you
tangent. Should
love
we
your last
just
name?
I love my last name
You know what's
so much.
crazy? I never loved my last name.
Okay, so
And
that's
I
good.
like my current name, not because of where it came from, but I like that it's short and sweet and
Yeah,
cute
it
and
is. It's nice.
to the point, and it has a meaning, even though I don't love the meaning, but it's like,
Yes.
it's just
It just flows
cute.
too. Yeah.
And so when I do evaluate, I know we're on a whole, but we'll come back. We'll come back.
I mean, maybe
But
we
when
can
I
just
do
talk about it.
evaluate who I'm dating, their last name is huge to me. I know that sounds crazy, but
Well, I think every girl
I'm
does
like
it.
Jessica Hauser?
And then if it's
No.
terrible, then you do
Yes.
the Jess. Well, Jess Frankenhauser. It's like
Yeah,
less
no, and then I'm like,
syllables.
"No, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it." And I will literally be like, "I can't do it." And then there was like someone else who, oh, what
Or
was
if
their
it's a
last
good
name?
one,
I
though.
loved their last
Yeah, you're
name.
like, "Oh, you're so annoying."
Oh,
Maybe it's
yes,
like
like, yeah.
yeah,
I don't wanna call people's last names out, but
yeah. Did you
mhm.
ever have a pretend last name? Like, I couldn't wait to get married, like, ever since I was
Yes.
6 years old, mine was Jessica Hamilton.
Ooh,
Sounds so nice.
Hamilton.
Hamilton, like a princess.
Oh, I have so many last names.
You
I don't
do?
wanna call them out,
Okay. Okay.
but there's well, from boyfriends that I did like their last names. But,
Mm.
I do have a name that I would use as a pen name,
Mm.
which I might have to use as a pen name, so I don't even wanna share it yet.
Okay,
I'll
yeah,
share it
yeah,
with you
yeah.
later.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Alright,
Okay.
good God.
Whew.
Where to
Alright.
I think what we were
Let's
talking
give
I think we were talking about before is you feel like a teenager
yes, and
and
everything's changing.
yeah, and the perimenopausal thing. So
Mhm.
I will say
'Kay.
that I have been noticing in this year, and I can't figure out if it's just my year after divorce, just
Yeah, yeah.
rediscovering yourself,
Yeah.
doing everything
The
different,
rough
blah, blah,
year.
blah.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm thinking so much differently in so many different categories of life and acting
Mhm.
differently. So, like, stupid examples are I've noticed that instead of running, because I love trail running, I ran my whole life, I just find
Mhm.
myself wanting to
Yeah.
walk. And it's hiking with my dog, but it's like, I just want to like
Yeah,
clear
be
my brain.
present. Yeah.
Same thing in the gym. I feel like I don't
Mm.
like the loud earbuds. I've just
Mhm.
been like wanting to hear myself breathe and not have
Mhm.
the earbuds in.
Yeah, yeah.
And that sounds so dumb, but I was the person that like always had
Yeah.
it. I just
Keep
even
rolling,
silence. I
rolling,
was like,
rolling,
what's
rolling.
wrong with me
Yeah.
that I can't like sit in silence? Like just little
Mm.
things or even like friendships have
Mm.
changed where it's like
Yeah.
I
Those
just
are the
want to be
hardest. Ugh.
alone or even
Yeah.
like take negative circumstances out
Mm.
of it. It's just like I don't want to call. I don't want to pick up the phone. I'd
Mm.
always be the one. Any friend calling, I always want to talk because
Mm.
I'm an extrovert and I
Mhm.
verbally process and I'm a phone
Mhm.
talker. I could like clean a whole house and do a
Yeah.
whole and it's like,
Multitask.
nah, just I don't know. It's almost like reminds me of when they say every 7 years your the chemistry in your
Cells
body.
change
I feel
over
like is it a
that's
pyramidal sauce where you're just
mhm.
everything change like I could go on and on. It for me, it's exciting.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it's time. If it's a perimenopausal thing and not a
Mhm.
post-divorce thing,
Mhm.
what amazing timing. Because for me, it's
Wow.
like it feels meant to be. It feels like
Yeah.
this is your year. This is your season
Yeah.
of like, don't assume that you're gonna do or be the same way you've been all the way up till now in any way.
Right.
You know?
Right. Well, you're making me think of and man, we've been getting heavy with Bible stuff, but it was making me think of Jubilee. Have you
Mhm,
heard of
Your
that? We
seventh
can
lucky
Google it,
number.
but
Yeah, you
because
taught
I
that
don't
on
want to
Google.
give the wrong
Yeah.
understanding. But in the Jubilee year, he like blows the trumpet and everyone is free from their like debts and their this and their
Oh,
that.
yes.
So, and it is like a regenerative time. And so,
Yep.
yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like, okay, I've had enough of that. Like,
Yes.
and and I've had a lot of ugly over the last yeah, exactly 7 years
Yep.
has been probably the ugliest time of my life. So I'm hoping When you said that, I'm like, "Ooh, yes. Give
Okay, you're
me the
never gonna
Jubilee."
believe this. So, ready? So, year of Jubilee refers to a concept in the Old Testament, Leviticus 25. It's also a significant event in the Roman Catholic Church. In the Bible, the Jubilee was a special year every 50 years to
Okay.
restore social equity by freeing slaves, returning land to its owners,
Yep.
forgiving debts. In the Catholic tradition, a Jubilee is a holy year in 2025.
So this is a Jubilee?
We're not Catholic, but you know what?
Yep.
Love the Holy Mother.
Yep. Girl,
The Catholic
girl, you did that. You had that baby.
did.
Immaculately. You go, girl. We love Mary. Did she change her name? Side note.
Oh my gosh. No, respect for the Catholics. Like, I
No,
think they actually have
respect.
a lot right that us evangelicals
Yeah,
don't. And
yeah.
I'm more and
Every
more respect
every
for the Catholics.
denomination has a piece of the puzzle
All
for
right.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, back.
So back
Back
to
at
the
it.
year of Jubilee. So it's like, it's different. It's refreshed. It's not
Mhm.
old. So I was thinking about when we're rediscovering ourselves or even just trying to like get our grippings
Mm.
again or like steady
Mhm.
our feet and like,
Mhm.
okay, especially now that a lot of us have more time. Because unfortunately, if you have kids, a lot of them go to dad. So a lot of us have like 50, half the custody.
Yeah.
So you are gifted, in my opinion, even though it's sad, we don't want to not have our kids 100% of the
Yeah.
time, but
Nope,
we're
you're
gifted with,
reframing.
it's
Reframing
reframing. You're gifted with
instead of
time.
loss. Yeah.
So things that you couldn't have done if you're a full-time mom and wife,
Mhm. Mhm.
you do. Like there, I will say, my youngest are teenagers, so I have some
Mhm.
extra time. That's the only reason I was able to start this podcast, which has been a dream
Yeah.
of mine for years and years.
Yeah.
Working on books, I'm doing all these other things, and I'm
Mhm.
loving it. So what I was going to say though is, in the year of Jubilee, everything's different,
Yeah.
letting go of the old. Don't assume that you want to be the same person or achieve the same
Mm.
things or like
Yes.
go back and like, okay, what
Yeah.
did I want to do in my late 20s? Like,
Uh-huh.
it can be even hobbies. Like, do
Yeah.
you want to be a marathon runner or do you want to just do the rec
Right. It's
volleyball league
it's
with
like
your
the
friends?
things you're bound that you thought you were bound to
Yeah.
because it's saying like it, he released debts and slaves and everything. So the things that we were like slave to because we believed that that was who we were
Yeah.
or who we want to be now. If I'm now free and free indeed, what can I do with that freedom?
Yeah. And sometimes, like in your late 20s or early 30s or whatever, teenagers, you could have had dreams and callings and
Mm,
ambitions and stuff that just aren't anymore because you're a different person now. And
right.
that's okay.
Yes, yes. When I say teenager, I'm not saying I'm back in teenager stage. I'm saying it's that same
Newness.
angst
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
newness
Yeah.
and hormonalness, but now we have more autonomy to do
Yeah.
with it what we
Yeah. So anyone who's like in it, suffering, crying day and
Mm,
night,
mm,
this, I hope you're encouraged because I know this isn't ideal. I know you probably like, I don't want this extra time. I don't want to. You will see. Give it time.
yeah,
I say a silver lining to divorce is you get time
yeah,
for you again. You get time for
mhm.
self-care. You get time to go to therapy maybe for the first time because who had time for that with
Yeah,
all the kids
yeah,
around?
yeah.
You have time to invest in your job, get in a master's degree, get a
Mhm,
certificate. Like,
mhm.
so
Yeah,
just,
even that, even
you know,
even getting
and you did.
a master's degree, I don't know if we talked about this before, but because I was a stay-at-home mom, I felt like I obviously don't need a master's degree, and even though I had all the time to get one and I would have loved to, why would we invest in me?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mom built.
Yeah, even though we could have invested in me, and then when it was time, I could have been the mom, and
Yep.
I am the mom, but,
Yep.
um,
Alone though. You got to be the mom.
yes, and I know at the time he didn't have his master's degree, so even though he didn't have the time,
Mm-hmm.
it always felt like I had to wait because he
Yes.
had to get it first,
Yep.
or else that wouldn't be fair or honoring the position of husband and all
And
the
he was
things.
already the breadwinner, right? So it's kind of like, why
Yeah,
not just
keep
keep
investing,
propelling, right?
right.
Which nothing
Yeah.
outwardly
Yeah, there's
wrong
nothing
with
wrong with that,
that, but
but it
interesting.
paused
And I think that's a
maybe something I
common,
would have done a long time ago.
yes. And I think that story is very common with
Mhm.
women.
Mhm.
So yeah, like that's my encouragements. I always think about it with women in our like time of life, midlife,
Yeah.
and in the place we find ourselves, there is a whole nother world out there. There's a whole nother half of life to live. So don't, yeah, like, and it's almost like starting from scratch
Mhm.
instead of going back and trying to rebuild and okay, like what did
Yes.
I want to do? What were my dreams? Like
Yeah.
could I do that? Can I keep finishing that
Mhm.
degree? Take some time
Mhm. Mhm.
to pray and meditate on what things have fallen to the wayside. Like
Yeah.
what did you dream about? What did you give up on that maybe is
Yes.
possible?
I know I was just joking and singing A Whole New World, and then a part of me was like, "What movie is that from?" And then I thought of Aladdin,
Yeah,
and it's making me think of, like, it's literally like rub the genie's belly now because we can start from scratch. We could just be like, "All right, what are my 3 wishes?" Like,
I
there's
know.
nothing holding you back
I
in a way.
know. I
I mean, there
know.
is, like, finances and the work of it all, and where do you find the time or the room, unless you're in your stage. Me, I have a few more things to navigate around, but
Yeah.
what
It is amazing.
narrow
I
it
have
down
to
and
say, like, I just want to encourage people, like, yeah, divorce is gut wrenching, and I army crawled my way through months and months.
horrid, horrid.
But it is, it is
Mm,
something so special to be sitting here in this moment of life on my own, just single. My
mhm,
kids live here most of the time, then they go to their dad's
mhm.
40% of the time, and just to do to pour into the things that I love doing.
Yeah, even writing,
That's what I'm
I
writing,
mean,
I'm doing
this,
podcasts,
you
a
know?
side hustle, but
Mhm.
even just going on, like, long runs or just
Mm,
plans with friends,
and not having to check with
not
not
having to
one
check
person.
in.
Well, besides the kids, but, like,
Yeah, but just know
yeah,
yeah,
no
like, you
one
just
jealous of
have
you. Like, there's so much jealousy in marriage,
mm,
don't you think? I mean,
I
and
think that's
I'm sure not
something
in a healthy marriage, but
yeah.
well,
For
not
me, it was tit
jealousy,
for tatting.
but
It was like, if
competition.
you're gonna go out with the boys, then I
Right.
get to go out with the girl. It was like
Yeah.
almost like keeping
Poor.
score,
Yeah,
which
there's just so many
yeah,
dynamics that's kinda
yeah.
like then now you have to think strategically about so if I go
Yeah, or
right?
I'm not gonna ask for both of those things. I'm just gonna ask for the
Yeah.
first chip. I'm not gonna mention the second.
Yeah,
Which,
it's
listen, like, not to
good.
vilify or demonize the institution of marriage, but listen, this is where we're at. You have to look at the good things that you are
Yeah.
given. And like, the gift of time, you guys, is everything. And in this time of life where we might
Mm.
feel like the best of our years is gone, or I gave this dude 10-year, 15, in your case, 18, 19, how many?
20.
20 years.
18 to 20.
Which is fine. We have our children. I wouldn't do any different,
Sit.
but like now is the time. Now is the time though for our own self to really give yourself the chance to
Way.
do what you wanted to do the whole time or to
Mhm.
dream again.
Yeah.
Honestly, just dream again. Because
What did you wanna be? Did you always want like, even as a teen or young girl, did you wanna be an author?
yes, since I was in
Oh.
4th grade. Yeah, I won like a creative writing competition and
Oh.
Mrs. Buxton told me I was gonna be a writer.
I wanted to be a lawyer.
Okay.
Mm.
You would have been a really good lawyer.
But now I could still do that. I mean, I don't need that many more degrees, but, like,
Hmm.
sometimes I do think, what if I went into, like, educational advocacy? Like, there's a lot of
Oh my
laws
gosh,
involved
that
in
would be
education.
amazing.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
Yeah. Yeah.
I also wanted to write, but
Yeah.
not yeah.
So here's what I think you guys should do. If anybody's like, "Wow, I never thought of it that way," or you are kind of like, "Can I even?" For me, what I did is spend time praying.
Right.
And if you're not a Christian or a person of faith, meditate and envision and just give yourself the time. Here's the thing. Schedule in like half a day. Or if the kids go to their dad on Saturday, don't make social plans, don't clean your house and be like, I'm gonna give myself 6 hours or I'm
Mm.
gonna give myself a Sunday.
Yeah. Like the beach, like you do to
Yes, I go to the beach alone. That's where I like have my notes app and I
mhm.
just think.
You bring
Or
champagne
I do.
and
I
a
bring
blanket,
sushi
you
and
look
champagne.
amazing.
I watch the
I
sunset and
need to
I
do that.
cheers. I actually like cheers God. Oh my God. I don't, people
Pour
that are
one out
around
for
me,
you,
I go
God.
in the ocean, it's freezing cold. I think people probably think I have 4 stages cancer. Cancer. I always
Oh,
think, what's the narrative? Because I make such a big deal about it, or I just got out of prison. Like I'm positive because I don't know. Because
yeah,
I'm
they're
like
looking at her like,
dancing, like
"Nobody bother."
yes, yes. That's I like,
She's clearly going
yeah,
through something.
yes.
You were meant to be a hippie.
I know, I am. I am a hippie at heart. Um, so anyways, if you're not a person of faith, I was saying, no, take time. So here's the thing. Even get a hotel room. What is it? Like
Mhm.
$100 on hotels.com. Go stay at a hotel. Just erase everything
That
that has
you
led up
right.
to this point.
Yeah. Burn it
Think
all
about
down.
your soul. Think about your giftings, your callings, things that you've always felt a little like, in your spirit when you
Yeah.
were married and you had kids and you see a movie and that lady's doing what you always thought maybe
Mhm.
you could do, or a friend's
Mhm.
actually doing it because her husband supported her or she isn't married or whatever. And if you're a
That's
Christian,
awesome.
pray because God will give you direction and
Mhm.
the Holy Spirit will guide you.
Mm.
And then make a plan
Mhm. Mm.
because half the time it's
Wow.
just you don't know what you don't know. So could you get that degree? Is there financial aid for a single mom under a certain income to
Right.
get that degree?
Or research the point.
Research the
Research.
plan. You owe it to yourself.
Mm.
And I have found, and I've watched people in my life do this, like this midlife time, like this is our time. Like
Mhm.
I was just talking to podcast ladies. It's called Our Time to Rise in Midlife. And
Mhm.
that's their whole
Mm.
message. A lot of women, even the married women,
Yeah.
so your kids are off, you're empty nester, or they're 18. I mean, mine are 16 and 17. The amount of quality time we have is very small. They're boys, they're doing their thing, right? It's fine, it's natural. It's kind of like, all right, now what? You know?
Yeah, empty nest, midlife,
Yeah, like
you're
what
still
you have a
confronted with
lot of
yourself.
purpose left. Like
Yeah.
what are the gifts, skills, abilities,
Yeah.
calling, dreams, yearnings,
Yep.
desires? God put them
Mhm.
in you. And forget how we were
Yep.
raised in the 90s. A lot of us thinking our soul has achieved
Yeah.
ultimate, womanhood if we got married and had kids and that's
Yeah.
the
And
Shangri-La of
end all
life.
be all. Yep.
Well, I don't think God gave half a population a calling and purpose and the other was just supposed to have kids. Like, I think
Yeah,
that's all.
that's not cool.
I'll go on a
Yeah.
tangent if we start talking. But
Yeah.
so even you married friends,
I
this applies to you.
I often think if I were still married and feeling these feelings, because I don't think it's just that I'm divorced or single parent. Not well, whatever. The
Yeah.
single parenting in my home.
Mm.
I don't think it's just. I think I would feel the same way, even if I was married, and it
Yeah.
might even be even more confronting because now there is that person who only knows their perspective of you is who they always knew you to be.
Right.
That must be even harder
So
in some
that
ways.
confirms my point that this is a blessing, not a
Mhm.
blessing to be divorced,
Right,
but to
right,
have full autonomy,
right.
full
To
freedom
rewrite your script, yes.
completely from
Yeah,
scratch is amazing.
that is.
So, yeah.
That's a good point. So,
Mm.
what would you say is the enduring lesson here? Or
So it's never too late. There
mhm,
are so many scriptures. I've written for years for other sites,
yeah.
and I've written so much on the topic of you haven't screwed it up.
Mm,
There's nothing you could had done in the past. Who cares if you got a divorce? Who cares what led you to this point? So you still have a voice. You're not disqualified. God can use you.
mhm,
You might have a greater and stronger voice,
mhm.
actually. You just might have a different audience to speak into. And that's, I'm applying this to our industry where we're like writers and
Right.
podcasters, but if you want to be an artist, I mean,
Oh,
let's like, if you
yeah.
want to be a cook, if you want to start your own catering
Yeah,
business, if you want to be a coach, whatever.
yeah.
So it's not too late. You're not too old. You haven't screwed it up too much. Your circumstances are not dire. You are not less than or disqualified. There's no like
Yep.
smear on your life, and you owe it to yourself. Because
Mhm,
here's the thing: women pour as we should, and it's our greatest blessing
mhm.
to pour into our kids' lives. And a lot of time, our husbands, if you're in a marriage, and that's beautiful. But a
Yeah,
lot of times we take the back burner,
yeah.
which is fine for a season. But now we're out of that, guys.
Right.
Now we're on our
That was like
own.
our service to the Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like a
Mhm,
lot of it is self sacrifice. It's just
mhm.
that's what motherhood is. But now a lot of us are coming out of that. They're at least way older, the kids.
Right.
So my thing is like, it's don't feel bad about it. God wants this for you.
He
Like, don't
does.
feel it's
He
selfish.
does.
Don't. So if you're gonna spend money or time
Yeah.
or gonna travel on go to a bunch of conferences in a
Right.
professional industry to whatever for your dream that you're trying to pursue,
Mhm.
yeah, now's the time. Do not feel bad. Take this time for self care and treat it. Yeah, like you owe it
100%.
to your soul
Yeah,
and you owe it to God because God gave you those dreams and visions.
exactly. And he gave you a purpose and a calling that
Like
was
steward it.
additional to
Yes.
having children.
I don't even like putting children in the verbiage of a purpose or calling. Honestly, I don't
Really?
even yeah, but
And
that's
that's so different
just because our
than that's
bodies are the ones
crazy.
that because we don't say the purpose and calling so much to the dads.
And they're
Like
still parents.
right.
Yeah.
Well, heck, I mean, it's just that we birthed them.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
they're supposed to raise them. It's supposed to be their purpose and calling. Little boys, why are do we say that as much to
Mm-mm.
little boys?
It's your purpose and calling to raise a
To
healthy,
have kids
strong
and be
young
a
man.
dad,
Yeah.
like,
No. But, I actually on this topic, I did a little research, because not only do you still have a calling, you might have not even yeah, you might have not have even started it. Like, this
mm,
could actually be not although it's the end of something, it could be the beginning of something
yeah,
else,
yeah.
you know?
It's never too late.
Start
So
at
that's the thing.
40,
It's
start at
literally never too
midlife.
late. And like, don't waste it. Like, I love this podcast called Nothing is Wasted. So nothing
Yes.
is wasted in God's no amount of pain,
Yep.
no amount of loss.
Yeah.
God will
He'll use
redeem
it.
that and
Yep.
use that.
Yep.
So this, don't waste the pain.
Yep.
Don't waste now the aloneness
No.
and this
Speak
time.
about it, write about it,
And
preach.
you might not be alone forever. So some of us might not want to ever be remarried. A lot of us do.
Yeah.
So I mean, that I want to do a whole other episode on because it's like, let's look at singlehood as something to treasure and protect
Yeah.
if you think you're going to get married again, because that means it's not forever.
Right.
So this is like,
Eh,
this is our special
exactly.
season, right?
Exactly.
It's a
And they do say
total
that to singles. They usually just say it.
we're on
Usually,
the back end.
yeah, we're on the
Here we are again, guys. It's still your time.
back end.
Still your
Singleness
time to shine.
is still just as good as when you're 20. Yeah.
Oh, I can afford them.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Wins
And
and
fails.
fails. Yeah.
So for our first time viewers, listeners, Jess and I share a win and a fail every week, something that we're proud of or we did great
Mhm.
or well, and then something that we're struggling with so we don't all feel so alone. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You go first this time.
Okay.
I feel like.
So I'll start with my win is okay, this was amazing. And anyone who's been divorced can get this,
Mhm.
or at least if they're in the anyways. So I was making coffee like yesterday. And have you ever so we're recording this right now in September. I was divorced in October of last year. It's really coming up on a year. And I don't even really think about it that much. I
Wow.
really don't. But I felt a change. And the only way
Mm.
I could describe it is I felt the blessing of them all the time that had gone by. And I think it's because
Mhm.
I making coffee reminds me of my husband a little because he would always want to grind it. It was just a thing with us. And it's not that I ever thought of him every time I made coffee, but it was just happened to be when I was making coffee. And I was like, I feel the year.
Mhm.
It reminds me of when a loved one passes away, and
Mm.
it's not that you don't think of him anymore. It's not that
Mm.
the life didn't happen, but it's like it is not as fresh. So
Mm.
praise the Lord and let this encourage you guys, because I cried every morning, at least for 6 months. Just cried, just on my couch behind us every single morning. I stopped crying months ago, but there's always those like feelings. It's just a feeling, and so I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
It's just the gift. It's just what time does because time heals. So
It
that's my
does.
win.
Good.
And then my fail is really stupid. It has to do with motherhood. My youngest is such a picky eater. I'm so lax in making him intake vitamins and just I don't know. He's like the youngest, you guys. It's almost like he's almost our motherhood. My motherhood standards have so sunk from the oldest to the youngest. I have three
Oh,
boys.
me too,
So I was
girl.
talking to a friend the other day, and he's like ultra nutrition guy, raw foods, organic. He has like
Oh,
vials of like you know minerals and
green
things that he
things
adds to
and
his kids' things, and he's talking about this, and then I shared about
oh.
Kenai, and he's like, "Oh, well, every major disease or disorder or dysfunction of the body can be traced back to a vitamin or mineral deficiency, like every single one." And he's just talking like that, and
Oh, so
oh,
so the corn dogs and everything.
like literally, like bad, bad, bad. So I just it just was one of those mom moments where I'm like, "What is wrong with me? Like, how could I not care?" So I'm gonna start making him. I used
Okay.
to make him, or I used to like smoothies. So you put things in
Yeah,
smoothies, at
yeah.
least fruit. Sometimes I would put spinach, but
Mhm.
yeah, I mean,
Or meal prep, 'cause he is this a football player? And
he doesn't play football anymore, but
but
that's the
yeah,
one.
sportier one.
Yeah. So
Okay. Good, good,
so
good,
so
good job.
so.
So it's a double win fail. Haha.
Yeah, yeah.
You say those are I only do those.
No, it
Alright.
wasn't because my win was getting a year has gone by, and
Oh,
my
shoot,
fail
darn,
yeah,
I thought I
don't
had
sure,
you.
yeah, no, I had a solid win, a solid fail. Over to you, sister. Over
I I do have a solid
it's like the tabs
man,
now.
I know. Who's going tit for tat now? Sorry. Triggering. Alright. My win is, ooh, let me do my fail first.
Okay.
Because just following up from the last episode, just things going on in my life and letting anxiety take over. I am one for anxiety.
Really?
Oh,
I mean, I kinda know, but
overthinker. I panic. I ruminate, all those things. My mind is really strong.
mhm, mhm,
Um, and just choosing that instead of peace. But it was almost getting to the point where I can't even pray.
mm,
But I think I talked to
I've
you
been
about it
there.
and you're like, no, you just do it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah,
It's just it was like mumblings and grumblings, you know what I mean?
yeah,
So whatever.
yep.
I brought it there finally and I feel more peace. So
Oh, good.
that was my feel though. Even it's like how many years are we gonna stay in the same pattern
Mhm.
and not just know that you know that you know that God's got you?
I know,
I don't know why I keep
I know,
doing that.
I know.
Okay. My win is I have been we've talked about this. I've been a non-dater or a slow dater or a very picky dater.
Or not picking enough dater.
Or not picking off,
Fail
right,
dater, no
right, oh, dang, you're right. It's been real bad, but I guess it's been bad.
hard. It's been hard to be in the bleachers for this, guys. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, "I'm so picky." You're like, "No, you haven't been picky at all." Anyway, I think I'm on the up. I think
Yeah,
I'm on the
yeah,
up and up,
yeah.
and I'm like
Mm.
diversifying, and I'm talking to a few people, and I'm going places,
The
and I'm
year of Jubilee.
yes,
Year of Jubilee. No more, Lord. The gates are open.
yes,
Run.
bring them on.
Losers. Shut the gates. See, 5, 6?
Keep them in and let me out. Yes. Keep the
Yes,
5,
go.
6 brokies
Yeah.
in there and set me free, Lord. Yeah, so that's where we're at.
Yeah.
That's a win.
It's
I think, but
huge win.
unless
Nope,
I should
it's a
probably
win.
okay.
Yep. It's a
Unless
win for today.
okay,
The
today
win for
it's a
right
win.
now, we're in the right direction.
Today it's a win.
So thanks for joining us,
Yeah.
guys. We always love hearing your wins and fails. So our comments are
Yeah,
open.
share.
And
We
yeah,
gotta
I'm
read
gonna
some
put
online. That would be so fun.
yeah. And I'm gonna put our little action
Mhm.
plan, the little like 4 steps in the show notes.
Yes.
Is this
Oh
something
yeah.
all right? Cheers to a new season.
Yay! Cheers.
See you next time.